Namaste children. Today we are going to learn about a new chapter that is looking after planet Earth. Now, after completing this chapter, you can able to answer how living things depend on each other. Examples of food chains, what is an environment and habitat? What might happen if one link in the food chain is removed? You can able to say the meanings or the terms of like producers, consumer, food chain, scavenger, decomposer, sewage, compost, etc. And how human beings can help to protect the environment. Now, our planet Earth is a living planet since it is home to millions of living things, plants, and animals of various kinds. You would have seen many varieties of these living things in our surroundings. So, what is an environment? Plants and animals live together in many different environments all around the world. An environment is all the living and non living things in a place. It contains either air, water, plants, and animals. Each kind of environment has many different kinds of animal habitats. Now, what do you mean by habitat? What is a habitat? Every animal has a habitat, the place where an animal live and survive. Same way, the place where a plant can live and grow is called as its habitat. So, a habitat is where an animal or a plant can get food, shelter, water, grow, and live is called as habitat. For examples, toucan's habitat is rainforest. Here in this slide, many examples of habitats are given. Coming to the two varieties, that is land habitat, terrestrial habitats, and water aquatic habitats. Land habitats are forests, tropical rainforests, deserts, grasslands, mountains, tundra, etc. And water, if you consider aquatic, two kinds, freshwater habitat and saltwater habitats. Freshwater habitats examples are rivers, lakes, ponds, streams, etc., whereas saltwater are seas and oceans. These are the examples of different land habitats. Desert, tundra region, grasslands, forest, rainforest. These are the fresh habitats, pond, lake, stream, river. We can see many types of frogs, ducks, beavers, turtles, dragonflies, and many kinds of fish in fresh water. Then next, saltwater or sea or ocean habitats are sharks, starfish, whales, dolphins, lobster, and coral are some of the animals found in the oceans. Now, how do plants help animals? Plants provide food and shelter for many animals. Plants are used for making medicines to fight against diseases or illness. Animals use plants for shelter. For example, birds build nests and beaver builds dams. Plants provide oxygen that we need to live, and that is the reason plants are called as cleaners of environment. Plants provide protection for animals for hiding. Plants are used to make clothing, paper, and wood products. Plants also provide beauty for the earth, and they are called as the producers since they can produce food. Now, how do animals help plants? Animals help plants in dispersal of seeds for germination. For example, some animals like squirrels bury seeds when they store them and forget to go back to them to get them. Some of these seeds that are left in the ground will germinate. Seeds attach to the animals that have fur. Later, the seeds will fall off the animal and grow into a new plant. Insects and birds help in pollination of the flowers. Now, what is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is how plants and animals and non living things in an environment depend on each other. Till now, we have observed that how plants and animals are interdependent on each other. Now, the interdependence of these living things, that is, plants and animals, or non living things, that is, sunlight, water, soil, which are the non biotic, non living things in an environment, is known as ecosystem. Now, the new words. Before we discuss what is food chain, we need to learn the meanings of these new words, that is herbivore. Herbivore is the living organisms which can eat only plants and plant materials. Those are called as herbivores. What are carnivores? Carnivores are the animals or living things which eat only flesh, that is meat, fish. These are called as carnivores. Omnivores, the living beings which can eat both plant material as well as animal material, those are called as omnivores. Producers, which can produce their own food. So plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis, since they are having a special pigment green color which is known as chlorophyll. This is able to absorb the sunlight and helps in preparing glucose by the plant. This process of preparing food by the plant is known as photosynthesis. Since it is producing food, they are called as producers. And consumers are those which depend on producers for their food. So, animals are the consumers. Now, example for herbivores. Some animals do eat other animals, but some they survive on plants and are known as herbivores. They do not eat other animals. Some animals, like the kingfisher, eat only other animals. These animals are called as carnivores. Some animals, like us, eat both plant material and animals. These type of animals are called omnivores. Now, what are producers? Plants are living organisms. They need nourishment to survive. But plants do not eat other plants or animals. Plants are called producers because they can produce their own food using sunlight. Consumers. Consume means eat, take from others. Animals are called consumers because they eat food provided by the plants or other animals. What is a food chain? The interdependence of living animals on each other for food in a sequence is called as food chain. So food chain shows how each living thing gets its food. A food chain is order in which animals eat plants and other animals. The sun is the primary source of a food chain. Plants get their energy from the sun. Without the sun, we would not have any plants. A food chain always starts with a plant. Next in the food chain is an animal, that is herbivore, plant eating animal, because plants cannot eat plants. A food chain always ends with an animal. For example, plants prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis with the help of sun. Always starts with the plant. The plant beetle eats the plant, the frog eats the beetle, and the turtle eats the frog. The lettuce is eaten by the rabbit, rabbit is eaten by the fox. Another example, the plant is eaten by the small fish is eaten by the large fish, the larger fish is eaten by the man. Another example, the fly is nibbling the plant, the fly is eaten by the bird is eaten by the cat. Now, think and answer these questions. Food chains, if there is no sun, what is the effect that a food chain will have? Next, again you think, what would happen if there were no carnivores? Now, where do the arrows point?